Two-time Hall of Fame inductees, Brent Godarzi and Marty Young. Back-to-back #1 trucking firm in the nation. Back-to-back best attorney and best law firm in East Texas.
Hello, Buckeye Nation, and welcome to the Gilmer Buckeyes Coaches Show. I'm your host, Jeff Rash, and I'm joined today with the head chief and cook and bottle washer, the athletic director and head football coach, Alan Metzel, and we have a special guest with us today.
That's right.
And I think this is a pretty recognizable face in Gilmer, Texas, and all of Upshur County. In fact, throughout Texas, this is the quarterback of the 2009 state championships and one of our coaches now. Right. And a teacher here at the school, none other than Stump Godfrey himself. So, Stump, glad to have you today.
Blessed to be here.
We're glad to have you. So we're going to open up a little differently today because we're going to talk some football. We're going to look at the stats, and we're going to talk about some things from the Pittsburgh game and the upcoming game. But before we do that, a lot of times we like to talk about the program here, and that's one of the reasons, Todd and Mark and some of us that have been involved with this program for over 20 years. It's the reason we like to stick around, because we love what goes on in this building, in the field house. And that is that we're taking boys and young men and growing them into men.
That's right. Building character.
A lot of people don't really have a full grasp of what goes on down here. They think just athletics, just a great football team, or any of our extracurricular activities. But really it's about taking young people and growing to that next level.
That's right.
And I'm going to let you set this up because you are really Stump's mentor. A lot of people may not realize this. Stump and I had lunch a couple of weeks ago, and he shared with me that what an influence you were in his life as a coach. He said you used to pick him up at 6:30 in the morning for Bible study, before practice or anything started. And I'm sure there's a lot of times that you picked several of those guys up, and you were looking into those blank faces, especially at 6:30 in the morning.
No doubt, at 6:30.
And you're thinking, what are we doing here? Right? This is not working. This is not waiting. And now you have Stump, who has come back to the community. He's coaching down here, coaching quarterbacks. He's becoming a pastor, pastoring, mentoring kids. And just being an all-around great influence for these boys in this program. So I know there were times that you probably felt like what you were doing didn't make sense, and nobody was listening. And I told Stump that same thing a couple of weeks ago. Remember, that's probably how Coach Metzel felt about you.
Sure.
So when you're talking to young people, know that they are hearing what you're saying. So why don't you just explain to the town, what has he meant to the program coming back?
Well, you're talking about a young man. His status is legendary. He's LeBron for Upshur County and for Texas. The man did it all here, and he did it right. There were times when he was younger that we had growing to do, as we all have had in our lives. And there were times that he had to learn to trust, and that we loved him, more than just as a football player. Yeah. And that's really I think probably the biggest challenge when we're doing what we do is truly getting across that message that we care about you, and that this program and all that we're doing is set up to help you in life. And so football and the weight training and the boot camp, that's the method to help teach those things for life. And this guy embraced it. He we went through some struggles, but he embraced it, and it's who he is. And so he embodies success. He embodies the grit, the work ethic, the fight, never say die. And you couldn't have a better person to go, hey guys, just look at this right here. He's done it, and not only did he do it here, but he's doing it in life. And that's what it's all about.
It is, because we both got to watch him go through junior high and come up through high school.
That's right.
Go off, get married, start a family. Now he's come back into the program, and he's a product of this program, and he'll tell you that. Stump, would you agree that, where would you be without men like this in your life? You had a lot of great coaches and a good program here and support from teachers and staff, but What's Stump's story without this program, without this building?
Well, it's not a story. I'm not here. I mean, I don't make it in life without a man like Coach Melsel and the program. But most importantly, Coach Melsel. He took the time. I got the most of respect for him, love, loyalty to this man. And I saw it day in and day out. And if it wasn't for Coach Melsel, Stump wouldn't have played as a sophomore, as a junior, as a senior. I wouldn't have made it. And the Most High blessed me with a man like him. And it was really, I cherish it. and I can't put it in words because our relationship is 10 plus years and it's still going. And he holds me to a high level of accountability. And I love that by him. And that's what, if I didn't have him, Gemma don't have Stump. And it wouldn't be, it's not where I would be, it's where I wouldn't be.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be here.
And none of us won't even think about that. We wouldn't have that 2009 state championship. But, and Stump, what is, and I know the relationship you guys have, and it's been something cool to watch. But now it's not that he's done by any measure. He's just getting cranked up in his spot. But we're old.
We are.
We're old.
He knows.
and Alan and I have talked about this. If you took every youth pastor probably in the county and gathered them up, I don't think they could be as effective, no offense to anyone, as what he has been just since he's been here. Well, tell us, what is your mission? Like, why are you here? Why are you volunteering all this time with these kids? What's your end game?
When I die, I don't want to just step to the Most High with just me. Everybody say you don't want to bring baggage to any relationship, but with him, you want to bring baggage, and that's souls. That's how many kids I'm gonna have in my baggage when I come to him. And he asked me, "What did you do? What did you do with your authority? And how did you handle it when I gave you this?" And that's what I want. I want to touch as many kids' lives, men, women, whoever, but most importantly, to grasp young kids at a young age like he did with me. And when I die, I want to have baggage, not just a bag. I want to have baggage.
And you've been an incredible influence just in the short time you've been back. It's been amazing, honestly, on the field and off the field. So you're starting a 501c3,
Yes.
right? Tell us a little bit about what you're doing there, and maybe even how we could help.
Well, it's called Pass It On, and everything we do, we passing something on. And I wanted to use it as a connection with the kids to speak about the Most High. And in this town, football is something that I can use. And as y'all had mentioned, I think I was pretty good at it.
Yeah,
I was all right. But I want to use that as an avenue to where I can minister to kids. And it's just a platform, really. And everybody know I can spin the football, and I want to teach kids to spin the football. But what Coach Melsel hinted at, it's after that. It's the grind. It's the silent claps. That's going to happen in real life. And I pray and hope that I do a great example of doing that for the kids.
Well, you are. Trust me. I know that Alan's appreciates you being here too.
Love it.
So let me ask you one more question before we start talking about some football here. What is it like? You were a student that went through this program. So you went through the grueling practices and but now you get to see it on the other side. You get to see it from a coach's point of view. Is it different?
Oh, yes. Night and day. And it makes me respect him, Coach Traylor, Coach Turner, Coach Ball, Coach Edwards, all of them to a higher level. Because now you see not only the stress of trying to get the guys to do right on the field, but you want to do them right in life. You want to do right in the hallways. You want them to be an example of you. And the kids up there cutting up, being bad, that looks bad on him. I mean, not the parents, because they know that we spend much time with them. And I respect that to an utmost because they do that well. Period. It's not many places where you do it well. Period.
Yeah. We're tickled you're back, by the way. So let's talk about some football, and let's Stump. You stay in here with us. We're going to talk about some of the plays from the game. First of all, Coach, great game, another win.
Yes, sir.
Went into Pittsburgh. Your goal, as we talked about last week, was to put together 4 quarters of football. You'd played, we'll say 2.5.
Right. In spurts.
You had a couple of good second quarters, but never a first quarter that you were happy with at the time. Mm-hmm. Surely you're happy this time.
No doubt.
Right?
No doubt. We got the look that we were wanting. Regardless of who we played, how they played, that wasn't what we were looking at in our expectation. We wanted a faceless opponent that we were going to go do what we set out to do. And I felt like we did that.
I think they executed extremely well. We're going to look at some of those plays. Let's talk about strengths and weaknesses. What did you see in this game that you really liked?
I love the focus coming into the game, attention to detail, the intensity, and not being emotional. Those were the things I loved. Really, I would have to say the one thing that I didn't like was that we didn't score on the first drive after half. That we had us a nice little drive, and I was ready. We can talk about the pulling off or whatever later, but I wanted to score in that drive, and we kind of sputtered and then didn't hit the field goal, and so that would be the one thing in the game that I was a little disappointed we didn't take care of. But aside from that, I thought the first half was really, if we'd have scripted it, that's how it played.
That's how it should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so let's talk about pulling off right quick, because I know that the town probably wants to talk about that, and so do I. So I've never seen a coach in the years that Todd and I have been doing this and watching football, I've never seen somebody try harder not to score in a game, I think, as you guys did, especially as early. And I think that makes you just a great Christian man, because you really, it takes talent to pull that level of talent from scoring. So what was the motivation there?
Okay, well, I wasn't trying not to score, just so you know. That was not the goal. It was not the goal. But I will say this.
So you're telling me that you would have always kicked that 3 points on those extra points, not gone for the end zone? Is that what
Every game is different. Every game is different. So you can't take sweeping shots here. Everything is different. What I'm saying is we got to a certain point where I felt like we had accomplished our goals. And so at that point, I wanted to make sure we came out healthy, and I wanted to make sure that we were building depth. And so we got guys in that needed to get in and get some plays. So that was the focus once we started making those decisions, and I feel good about that.
And Stump, this is what we call a political answer. You see that? Do you see how he sidestepped that and just kind of, oh no, yeah, there's still room for you on the ticket, buddy. We've still got a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I'd vote for you, by the way.
I appreciate
Just so you know, I would gladly vote for you.
Okay.
So let's take a look at some of this game. This first one was defensive, just played incredible all year, right? I mean, defensive line, man, what penetration this year.
Super job.
This is the big man. This is Burton on a sack, third play of the game. Talk us through it.
Okay, we deferred, so they get the ball to start out. This is the third play of the game. We're on defense, and so they're third and medium distance, and so our guys get after him up front. So you're going to see Matthew. I've got it highlighted right there. You're going to see him do a spin move and grab the quarterback. Jet Jones comes in and finishes him off, and the rest of the guys swarm. First 3 and out. That's what we wanted to start with there.
They had a lot of first 3 and outs. I think they had 2 first downs the whole first half of the game. Entire 13, I think, something like that. It was crazy. This next one is the first TD of the game. This was a Dylan post.
Yes, Dylan's going to run a post here. Stump, you kind of talk to us about the look, what the quarterback's looking for right here.
Well, Coach Niles and Coach Melsel in the past with me, and now Coach Niles with BT, he always does a great job of understanding where you guys is at and where the defense is at. And Brandon did a great job of finding that it was one high, and Dylan ran a great skinny post, and BT threw a great catchable ball for him.
There you go. Okay, so we'll take a look here. Brandon does a great job. He gives a little nod to the run back to make it look like it's a run to get the linebackers out of the way. Dylan runs a great route. Had a little bit of pressure in his face. Brandon stood in there and stuck it in there.
Yeah.
That was good.
So are you grading Brandon every week? Do you grade him?
Yeah, we do.
You do.
Yeah.
And I've heard you've been a little harsh on him.
Yeah.
You haven't seen like what you wanted to see yet. How did he do this game?
He did great, and Coach Nelson can attest to that, and Coach Niles as well. He was clean. He made the right throws. He didn't try to force it when his guy was open. He took what the defense gave him. He didn't press to try to make the right read.
Yeah, and he's a great kid.
Yeah,
he's a great kid. If you don't know Brandon, he's just a sweet. He's an animal in the field, but boy, he's a gentleman.
He is
off the field. He's a great representative of this program.
Absolutely.
So this next one was Cody
Guidry,
who played. I thought one of his better games.
It was.
This was probably his best game since Gladewater.
I think so.
I think Gladewater was his best, and this one may have surpassed that. So I'm sure he scored high, right?
Yes.
So this is him running the TD.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here we go. We're down here inside the 10, and we're going to do like a ISO run where our fullback's going to sift up inside, and Cody sticks his foot, gets up behind the fullback, and into the end zone for a touchdown. Great job by the offensive line, and great job by Cody of reading his blocks.
Yeah, and while we're talking about Cody, I thought this would be a good time to ask. I was so surprised that, I think it was the third quarter, you called a fake punt.
Yeah, I was so surprised too. And after he ran it, he came over and said, "Coach, I hope you're not mad at me." And I just looked at him and he said, "There was nobody over there." And I'm like, "All right, Cody, all right." So,
yeah, but that was a good thing, right? Because we got to keep going for that touchdown. You weren't trying to pull off,
He did a good job.
Yeah,
he saw a huge opening, and I'm not going to get on to him.
Green grass, right?
There you go, run down.
Yeah, because when I saw him run over to you and say something, I saw you just kind of shake your head.
Yeah.
Was that, you were okay with that?
I was all right. All right. There you go.
So we couldn't wait to ask you that today. Thanks for reminding me of that, Todd. Appreciate it. This next one is a screen pass to Marche.
Yes. We call this a jailbreak screen. We're going to show like we're pass setting their D-line. They're bringing pressure. We've got Marche circled here, and we're going to get the ball out and just let him go. You see the linemen up the field.
And they did a good job setting up a wall.
Did a fantastic job of getting up and getting in the way of the defenders. Of course, Marche can really run, and he takes it the rest of the way.
That's textbook, though. That wall. It looked good, didn't it?
That's right.
It's good coaching. So this next one is Kickoff Recovery. Now, you and I were talking about this before we started the show. You watch football for 20 years, you might see one or two of these over the course of that time. We've had two of the same incidences where the kick return team, not understanding it's a live ball, didn't recover it, and we picked it up. This was Parker Gilo doing. Last week it was.
Last week was Landon Watson.
Yeah,
you bet. This week Parker Gilo came up with it. I've got Kiki Johnson circled. He's closest to us, to the bottom of the screen, and then Parker is closer to the kicker. Jose Hernandez is kicking, and he does a great job of getting the backspin on the ball. So, this is something we're working on. And when it hits, if they don't catch it in the air, then it backspins backwards. Kiki gets his hand on the ball, it falls forward, and then Parker grabs it. Now we got the ball first and goal inside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's happened twice.
Exactly, in 2 weeks. That's pretty
Ball
great.
Just checks up. It looked like it was going out of bounds. I thought it was going out of bounds.
Right.
And I thought last week the ball was going in the end zone, but they checked up. That's something we need to give credit to Hernandez.
Oh, no doubt. He works on that.
Trying to put the backspin. Man, he'd be a good golfer one day, won't he?
That's right.
That is a weapon. So this next one is another touchdown to Dylan Fluellen. And this time, this is one of those, me, I love watching Tennyson. When you got a quarterback with legs like this, I love seeing him roll out of the pocket.
Right.
And that's what he does here. This is something y'all work on.
That's right. So there's drills that Coach Niswander and Coach Godfrey work on with Brandon on this. So I'm going to give it to Coach Godfrey there. Talk to him a little bit about what you guys do.
And it's just to try to give him a look like that you get in game, and where guys rush up the field, he's slicing up the pocket, keep both hands on the ball, and it's red zone. Coach Melso harped on it, and Coach Nice harps on it. We don't want to turn the ball over in the red zone, so keep both hands on the ball when he's coming through the pocket. And then he buys time by getting out the pocket and getting a good clean pocket outside the pocket and throwing a great catchable ball for Dylan.
Is that just to give the receiver time to get run his route, or is it to be a threat to try to suck in the corner?
It's one of those things in what they're working in the drill. They know at some point we're going to break down. You have athletic guys rushing, so we work our drops, all the different drops we do, but then we're going to work these drills of, okay, when it breaks down, you've got to move, let's have a plan for how you're going to get out of there.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, when you can do all that, that's hard to cover. So somebody's coming open. So, and that's what you're going to see on this play.
So let's watch this.
You bet. Here he goes. He drops back. They get a push up the field, up into the pocket, outside, sticks it on him. Perfect. Dylan does a great job tapping those toes, getting in. Excellent job. Yeah. Just like it was practiced.
Good execution.
Absolutely.
So this next one was a pick. This was Davion Smith.
That's right. On this one, Davion, we've been playing a lot of man defense. And so here they come. They're down in the red zone. They're expecting man. They have a route specifically trying to beat our man, and we went zone. Davion drops off, and he's just sitting there waiting and picks off the pass. So great job by Davion of playing his position, sitting in the hole. The guy overthrew his man just a little bit, that he's sitting there waiting on the ball.
Ready to pick it up.
Absolutely.
And then this next one was one of my favorite plays of the game because this guy had a great game. And this is Arona.
Arona.
He plays aggressive.
He
I
does.
really like watching him play. And watch how he brings the thunder.
That's right. He comes on a blitz.
Coming and bam. Look at that.
Really, let me run it back and I'll show it again. He's going to come on a stunt and just runs right through the quarterback.
That's child abuse. That's rough, man.
Really nicely done.
Good stuff, yeah.
Really
That's the way it's
nicely
supposed to look, right?
Yes, sir.
That's the way it's supposed to look in practice.
Correct.
So, congratulations on another win.
Thank you.
Great job. This next week we got Liberty Ilo here, right?
Yes.
So, what are we looking at?
Very talented, and that's every year we play Liberty Ilo.
Yeah.
They have athletes all over the field, really good looking kids. Their defensive front, they all are athletes. Their linebackers are athletes. Their secondaries athletes. They run well. They're physical. On offense, they have a really talented running back. That's the critical part of their team is their running back, and they're big on their offensive line. But it all goes through number 3.
Have we played anybody this year that didn't have a big offensive line? I mean, where are these guys coming from?
They're huge.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Where are they getting these kids?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I don't know.
So, how do we match up speed?
Speed-wise, they're probably team-wise, they're probably a little bit faster than us, But for us, it's about executing. It's about being disciplined, reading our keys, being where we need to be. If we'll do those things, we feel very confident we're going to do well.
They run a spread.
They do. Their offenses, they're formationally very similar to us. Their schemes are a little bit different, but they're formationally to be a lot of things that you would see from when we play. And defensively, they play 4 down and 3 down about 50-50. They switch back and forth on those two things.
This is always the point of the program where I ask him for a score prediction. And he never gives it, does he? It's that politician thing I'm talking about. I'm telling you, this guy missed his calling.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Exactly.
Stump, thanks for being here today, and thanks for being back in Gilmer and doing what you're doing with these young men, teaching those principles of integrity and using the game to teach life.
That's right.
I love it. That's why I love this program. And I'm so happy that y'all haven't thrown us out of here.
We're blessed to have you guys.
The many times that you probably should have. That would have been probably smart to do.
No.
But thanks for being here with us today. Coach Mitchell, thanks. We look forward to the game, folks. It's going to be 7:30 in Jeff Traylor Stadium right here in Gilmer, Texas, this coming Friday night. Make sure you're here. And if you're not, you know where to watch us online, GilmerBuckeyes.com, E-Text, Channel 1, Channel 601. You can go out to your smart TV and watch it on YouTube. There's about a dozen places to watch it. Find one of them. Find a friend that knows or have a watch party. Either way, make sure you're watching the Buckeyes this coming Friday night. Thanks again.
Appreciate it.